We're just gonna start fixing it, I guess. What else to say? Just wanted to share some auto body archaeology for all the enthusiasts out there. See around the hinge here, we have a classic lead repair. Probably happened when the car was only a couple years old and the door was overextended. And so they filled it in with actually a fair amount of lead there. That's not supposed to be that thick, but it is now. And yeah, that's always fun to find. Do you get excited about discovering horrible old bodywork on your classic car? Well, now you can tell the world with your very own Carter Auto Restyling Auto Body Archaeology t-shirt. Cats not included. Can you please stop helping? Just for a little bit, okay? Alan, please. Okay? Available in our merch store at www.carterautorestyling.com. Well, I had a brief moment of sanity there. Very, very brief. Trying to figure out what I wanted to do with this, and I come to the conclusion that what I want to do with this, there's not enough time right now to get around to it. So we're going to switch gears here and give this thing the old spruce goose McMoose. We're going to see how good we can make this thing look with the least amount of effort. Turn it into a yard art type of situation, the old budget restoration, extreme budget restoration. And I think it'll come back around actually. So that's what we're doing with it for now, and see how good we can make it look in the least amount of time. Let's get started. Well, I'm not a glass expert, but I have had a lot of old junkers, and that is the first time I have ever seen a laminated piece of glass just completely separate cleanly like that. Usually when the laminate goes, it just clouds up in the middle, but yeah, that's a new one for me. And I thought, well, maybe some cheapskate just got like two super thin pieces of glass crammed in there. But if you look here, I don't know if you can see that or not, but it is actually the original safety glass, quite possibly the original windshield actually. And you can see well, you can't see that, but there is a line from the wiper going on here. So yeah, that was one piece of glass, and now it is two pieces of glass, which works out great for us because I was going to cut a new piece of glass out of some clear plastic, but that just saved us a couple dollars. So I mean, you wouldn't want to drive it like that, but for what we're doing, that'll be just fine. There's like a secret trap door in here actually. I just stuck my foot through there. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it on camera, but that was exciting. Well, bad news. We have a bit of a crisis here that could alter the future of this project. I wanted to run white walls with full wheel caps on the 15s there all the way around, and unfortunately that won't work because these 15s that we have, they do not fit over the hub on the front. So this is a big problem, a big problem, because now it means that I have to clean up and paint these leprosy rims to make them look good, because they don't look very good right now. It's also upsetting because I wasted a great deal of time detailing out these fantastic old tires, and now we can't even use them. That's what really gets me. And if that wasn't enough, we're only down to 2 wheel studs on this particular side now, which means we're very limited to the amount of times that we can be taking wheels on and off of this thing. You know, it just can't win. Well, this car doesn't stand a heap and hope of ever running again, but we have this car which did run up until a couple days ago. It still runs, but it's not running properly. So I guess seeing as how we're fixing this up, we should probably fix this one up too and get it running right again. Get a close-up of how some of this goes together. You can see the little spring there hooks around the doodad there. That's held together like so. Okay. Yep. There's definitely some garbage in there. I know that definitely needed to be cleaned. Not looking too good. And yeah, there's a plug with a screen or a filter or whatever you want to call it, and that's all gummed up with junk too, so wasn't helping anything. Well, just took it out for a quick drive and seems to be running better again. Unfortunately, the only real solution here is I have to drop the gas tank this winter and clean it out because it's full of junk, obviously. Plus the gas gauge don't work, so I got to fix that as well. But right now it currently has a full tank of gas, so this is just kind of a bush fix so I can burn through some of the gas hopefully, and then I don't have to drain a full tank of gas and lay in gasoline again. They never act up when they're empty. It always waits until you're full of gas, and then you start having gas tank trouble. You just can't win with this old junk, I tell you. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you something as well here. I didn't actually know any of this, but one of our viewers, I think his name is Mike, he told me about this, and I thought this was interesting. I didn't know this about these cars, but now you can learn about it too. So the taillights on these actually have a lens in the bottom. So the idea behind this that I just learned is if you're hauling something big in the trunk and you have the trunk open, you still have a brake light or a tail light or whatever at night. So I didn't realize that's what this is for, but that's interesting. I don't think I'll ever be hauling a trunk full of stuff in the middle of the night, but if I am, I'll know that I'll be super safe with this little light here. So that's an interesting fact that Mike told me about. I think his name is Mike anyways. He has a 36 Chevy 1.5 ton. I remember that. So the guy with the 36 Chevy 1.5 ton told me about this. How's that? There's your useless fact of the day, but I think it's interesting. So there you go. Well, we're almost done here, but we got a couple finishing touches to do. I think what we really need to take care of is this wildly inappropriate 1990s V-butt Boyd Coddington windshield setup we got here. It's supposed to have a divider strip like this, which is obviously missing. So we're gonna see what we can do. So we're gonna try to replicate something out of this old scrappy piece of aluminum we got here, or aluminium for all you fancy folks. Well, that's as far as we're gonna go with this one. Actually cleaned up pretty good, all things considered. It's funny how everyone in the first video was saying to scrap it or part it out, and now suddenly everybody wants to see it restored. Well, it's not getting restored, but actually this would, it's gonna look pretty good on my lawn as yard art. We took it from a, basically a field find to looking like a barn find. As they say, the best restorations are the ones where it looks like you've done nothing at all, and I'd say this would definitely pass for that. So total success story here. So what are my plans for this, you ask? Well, at the moment it is going to become yard art, and it's going to look pretty sharp in my yard, I think. Certainly much better than what we started with anyways. And once it's done fermenting out in the yard, what's going to happen is this is going to be getting cut up for parts. I'm going to be combining this with my other rough 4-door, and we're going to be building a 3-window coupe, not some weird alien conglomeration, but an actual proper 3-window coupe. So there's really not actually a whole lot from this I will be able to use for this. I'm going to have to lengthen the doors, so I'll be using, because I found out that using the back doors isn't going to work, it's going to be easier if I use 2 sets of front doors to make my 3-window doors. So we're going to use basically the best bits from this and the best bits from the other car, so fenders and doors, I guess, and whatever from the roof. I think this roof is in better shape, and the whole back section of the car will have to be handmade. Again, I want it to look like a proper 35 Chevy 3-window, so there's going to be a lot of fabrication there. And between then and now, I may come across the back section of a 5-window coupe. It doesn't have to be a 35, it can be a 36 or probably even 37. because it's going to be custom anyways, but I don't want some weird homemade looking garbage. It has to look proper. Now, before you go screaming in the comments about me destroying this beautiful classic car, this car is quite rough, as I've outlined in the previous videos. However, if you want to be a hero, you can put your money where your mouth is. I would consider selling this car to someone who's serious about building it. I don't really want to sell it because there's a lot of useful parts on here. But if you're interested, I'll put the price and availability in the description. Like I said, I don't really want to sell it, and it's not a car that's worth a whole lot. These cars have no value where I live. So the price is basically based on the hassle factor of me having to find the parts that I need that I can use from this somewhere else. So that's how that works. But again, who knows? Maybe there's somebody out there that wants to save this. Here's your opportunity. It's sold as is, where is, how is. I'm not shipping it. And sold bill of sale only. So there you go. You can go back through the playlist or the old videos on this car, and you can see what it's all about, and you'll probably agree that it is quite rough. I know the Restore Everything crowd is going to be piling on and saying how, oh, it's a beautiful classic, you have to restore everything. Well, to me, this is a parts car that can go on to save other cars, and that is what I'm going to use it for. And if you don't agree with that, then you can buy it. Car will be available exactly as you see it here. The only thing I'm not going to include is the headlight lenses and the reflectors. I will be keeping those. Other than that, it's exactly as you see it. I do have all the handles and the interior moldings and what have you, and the interior handles and the seat springs. So I would say it's probably, I don't know, 95% complete. All the glasses needs to be replaced. And again, go through the video or the old videos, and you'll see what this thing's all about. Well, thanks very much for watching, and as always, a huge shout out to all the patrons of the show over on Patreon, and the members of this channel here on YouTube, and people sending in donations via PayPal or Super Thanks, and all the people who have sent nice things in the mail. It is very much appreciated, and it really does help me to continue to produce this nonsense. We have a very busy next couple of weeks. Now that winter is almost here, I need to get caught up on all my spring cleaning. I have to finish up a little bit of work on the 36 Chevy, and we also have a budget paint job and bodywork segment coming up, and so hope you'll all enjoy that. There's going to be a lot of Louisiana lap welding, so get your Louisiana lap weld shirt in the merchandise store at www.carterautorestyling.com. Big thank you to everyone who has bought a shirt or a sticker from the store. Again, it really does help me to continue keeping this show on the air. Of course, we can't forget that the chicken truck is patiently waiting. We're going to be going hard on it all winter. That's the only project I have lined up this winter, so I hope you're all looking forward to a lot of custom work and metal fabrication and stuff like that. Just getting geared up for that as well, but we got to get caught up first on all the other stuff before the snow flies.